This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
They targeted me, they attacked me because they thought they could get away with it. And here we are a week later, and they're still out free.
No charges tonight. Almost a week after this incident at Lake Monroe was caught on camera, Vox Booker, the target of an alleged attempted lynching, is calling for a grand jury to look into the case. Good evening to you tonight at 11. Well, tonight, community activists join Booker in demanding an end to what they call a systemic delay in justice for black people across the country.
RTV6's Cameron Riddle was there and spoke to a professor and protester who says Bloomington is home to a long history of racism.
Vox Booker is now a name the nation knows after video shows him apparently being attacked by a group of white men at Lake Monroe. And while it appears to be an isolated incident, Black Lives Matter Bloomington member and IU professor Amarita Myers says don't be fooled. Racism is alive and well in Bloomington and southern Indiana.
Our own mayor has said that this is the blueberry in the tomato soup. Those are his words, not mine. And other people have continually said that this is the blue dot in the Red Sea because we are such a red state and that we're so diverse, primarily because of the university, Indiana University, that's here. But really, this is truly not a terribly diverse space or a welcoming space.
Myers is a historian and has called Bloomington home for the last 15 years. But she does not need a textbook to tell you some of her neighbors do not always experience the best of Bloomington.
The Jewish community has been harassed. The Muslim community has been harassed. Women wearing hijabs have been harassed. It's not just the black community. You can speak to any minority community here in Bloomington and they can tell you they don't feel welcome, they don't feel safe, and it's escalated in the last 4 years, but it's been that way for the 15 years that I've lived here and even prior to that.
Myers says the only way for Bloomington to improve its problems with race is to first admit that there is a problem.
People here say, oh, but the problem is not Bloomington. You don't want to go to Martinsville. You don't want to go to Bedford. And to me, that's the lie. I always say to people, remove the log from your own eye before you go to remove the splinter from your neighbor's. Stop pointing the finger at Martinsville and Bedford or Ellettsville or Spencer. We have a lot of garbage to clean up in our own community before we go start slinging mud at our neighbors.
In Bloomington, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And during today's demonstration, Booker and others stressed the importance of the FBI's investigation into the Lake Monroe incident, which could lead to federal hate crime charges.
From Monroe County to Marion County, another Black Lives Matter demonstration took place today. Franklin Central High School students organized a march through their community this afternoon calling for racial equality. They say you're never too young to make a difference.
Really, it's just a matter of if you're willing to be in that uncomfortable state of trying to educate and trying to have people listen to you. Because right now, it's more about our generation starting to have a voice to make the change that we've wanted to make since we were young.
I think that the Generation Z can do a lot, we can change a lot, and I think that I should use my privilege and use my voice for the right reasons and defend my black brothers and sisters.
Organizers say they want to start by addressing racial inequality at their school.
Now to the forecast. Will storms put a damper on the weekend? Kevin Gregory is here and helping you prepare. Kevin, what's it looking like?
We are starting with sunshine, and we'll have a lot of sunshine during the day Saturday. More on that in a second. What a great Friday night. Hopefully you had something to do this evening and you were outside. 73 in Kokomo, 72 right now the temperature with skies clearing in Bloomington. Lower humidity. The breeze still there, but not as windy as today, and sunshine dominates tomorrow. Late in the day, a chance for some thunderstorms. Here's your hourly forecast. By the time we get to noon, 82. Still warm tomorrow, but dry through the early evening. Our thunderstorm chances increase tomorrow night. You can see how we raised the bar about this time tomorrow night through the overnight. We'll have more details about your Saturday and what changes for Sunday coming up.
Now to the latest on the pandemic from the State Department of Health. 2,555 people in Indiana have died from COVID-19. More than 550,000 people have been tested for the virus, and just over 9% have tested positive. When it comes to the healthcare system, officials say 37% of intensive care unit beds are available. Nearly 84% of ventilators are available.
IU is supporting international students by supporting a lawsuit against the U.S. government. The suit filed by Harvard and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology challenges new guidelines that could take away international students' visas. Under the policy, those students would need to take in-person classes this fall or leave the country, preventing them from taking online classes. And Indiana University President Michael McRobbie released a statement saying in part, quote, IU commends the action taken by Harvard and MIT against this cruel and ill-judged order and joins them in strongly urging the federal government to rescind it.
Indianapolis public school students are set to return to the classrooms on August 3rd. Today, the district announced how it plans to protect kids and staff when they go back inside school buildings. Here are some of the protocols for safety for those who participate in full-time in-person learning. All staff and students will be required to wear masks, including on school buses. Some exceptions will apply, and mask breaks will be included throughout the day. Teachers will also be provided with face shields. Social distancing of 3 to 6 feet will be required in all schools, and school nurses will be available to screen students and staff who are showing symptoms. Now, students can opt out of in-person learning and choose full-time remote learning instead. The deadline to register is 1 week from today. For more information about the IPS back-to-school plan, you can go to our website, theindychannel.com.
One Indianapolis school plans on changing part of its identity amid a nationwide discussion on the name of its mascot. Manual High School's nickname is the same as Washington, D.C.'s NFL team, the Redskins. As Washington faces new pressure to change its name, Manual officials say that the school is considering doing the same. As of this month, Manual is now operated as a charter school for IPS by Crystal House. Now, the executive director of the organization tells WRTV, quote, as we begin this new chapter in the history of Manual High School, we will be involving the Manual Alumni Association, the Greater Southside Community, IPS, and local Native American representatives in the discussion of the new mascot.
One day after a now former staff member at an Indianapolis high school told RTV6 she lost her job because she's gay, students, past and present, are speaking up in support of her.
I think it's upsetting because anyone that is Christian and gay, it's like puts a bad taste in your mouth. Like, can I be Christian and can I be gay? And that's what she was standing for.
Kimberly Keir served as football manager at Lutheran High School. She also played basketball and softball before graduating in 2017. Tyler Richards will be a senior and plays football at the school. Both say they got to know Crystal Brazel during her time as athletic trainer and softball coach. Yesterday, Crystal told RTV6 Lutheran fired her in February after she declined to agree to follow a handbook that says that states that homosexuality is a sin. The students have questions about the timing of the decision because Crystal worked at the school for 5 years, and they say student athletes are losing out.
She knows all of us and all of our injuries, and she knows what to do. She knows how to do it every time, and it's just not going to be the same with anybody else.
As a parent, I would think I want the best medical professional for my child. I just want who's most qualified, and she was definitely that person.
Crystal thinks someone new came to the school and complained. She does have legal counsel, but her focus right now is inspiring change. Yesterday, the school released a statement to RTV6 about the situation. You can read that on our website, theindychannel.com.
Indiana's Attorney General will not get a chance at a second straight term. Today, the Indiana Republican Party voted for former Congressman Todd Rokita to be the nominee for Attorney General on the November ballot. He beat current AG Curtis Hill by about 4%. Rokita will face Democratic candidate Jonathan Weinzapfel in November. In Indiana, Attorney General nominees are chosen at party conventions, not in the primary. And Hill faced much criticism and refused calls to resign after 4 women accused him of sexual misconduct in 2018. He has repeatedly denied the allegations, and a special prosecutor declined to pursue criminal charges. The Indiana Supreme Court suspended his law license for 30 days earlier this year.
New tonight, President Trump has pardoned a political ally. The White House released a statement calling Roger Stone's sentence unjust. ABC's Rena Roy explains what led up to this latest development in the case.
Today, longtime Trump ally and former campaign advisor Roger Stone avoided prison time. President Trump commuting Stone's sentence after many speculated for months he'd do just that to help out his friend and confidant. Stone has been under house arrest and was expected to report to federal prison on July 14th to serve 40 months after being convicted last November on charges of lying to Congress, witness tampering, and obstructing a congressional investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. The high-profile roller coaster case causing controversy on Capitol Hill. 4 federal prosecutors stepping down from Stone's case when Attorney General William Barr stepped in. In an unusual and sudden reversal, Barr overruled their original sentencing recommendation of 7 to 9 years of prison time. A Justice Department spokesperson calling the prosecutors' initial suggestion, quote, extreme and excessive. But the move led one of the former prosecutors to testify before Congress.
Roger Stone was treated differently because of politics.
Hours before Barr shortened the sentencing recommendation, President Trump tweeted that the prosecutor's suggested sentence for Stone was, quote, horrible and very unfair. But Barr told ABC News the president wasn't involved in reducing Stone's proposed sentence.
To the president at all about your decision regarding the recommendations? Never.
Despite the commutation, Stone is still a convicted felon. Since taking office, President Trump has granted 25 pardons and commuted the sentences of 10 people, including other political allies. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
New and next, Colts owner Jim Irsay is preparing fans for changes as the NFL moves forward with plans to play football amid the pandemic. How game days will be different at Lucas Oil Stadium.
What is the risk for sending my daughter to daycare?
It's a question many of you may be asking. Our partners at Newsy get answers from health experts.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, Colts owner Jim Irsay is reaching out to fans about the upcoming NFL season. In a letter, he explains some changes the league is instituting that will impact the game day experience. According to Irsay, there will be a modified preseason schedule. Stadium capacity will be reduced to comply with social distancing guidelines set by the CDC. The letter also mentions additional health and safety protocols, including face coverings, but does not give specific details. For more info, go to theindychannel.com.
Gyms are open across Indiana, but as the pandemic continues, the safety of working out in groups is being questioned. Scripps reporter Kai Beach shows how one of the biggest fitness communities in the world is now trying something new.
With more gyms opening during the pandemic, the safety of working out in groups is being questioned. Now, one of the biggest gyms in the world is trying something new.
My first priority inside before COVID and now with COVID is to keep them safe.
Across the country, YMCA locations are back in business, and that means members are working out inside gyms again. Doing everything from running on treadmills to lifting heavy weights. To stay as safe as possible during this pandemic, select cardio equipment has been shut down for social distancing.
You only have to count to 3. It's not that hard.
Now, in an effort to create even a safer environment for its members,
right side plank.
The YMCA is taking its group exercise classes outside.
And 1, and up.
Lamar Sims is leading a strength and conditioning class on the steps of the Colorado State Capitol building.
Now, everybody's been checked before they come out.
This former district attorney turned Group X instructor isn't sure how COVID-19 will impact his class sizes.
I thought you said you'd done 48.
But he's absolutely sure that safety is a priority for the millions of Y members.
We're working on making sure that people are doing good spacing. So we're not going to have any of the partner type exercises. Rest anytime you need.
Infectious disease specialists say this kind of spacing is paramount during the pandemic.
If you're able to have that distancing, there's less spread.
Dr. Cheryl Zadowitz is a biology professor at MSU Denver. She believes exercising is much safer outside than inside, but says there are still several concerns with intense training in a group setting.
I mean, when you're working out, you're breathing heavier and potentially coughing, and there's still some risk that could be associated there.
That risk, however,
everybody clear,
is worth it to some members.
Nothing like it. This is the one thing that I miss the most.
This is the first time in 4 months Paul Garland has taken a group exercise class.
Going 3, 2.
He says this kind of workout impacts his mind and his body.
The better I feel physically, the better I feel emotionally.
Moving forward, the Y will continue to do group exercise classes outside.
I'm having fun.
As long as COVID-19 is still a concern.
And up.
I'm Kai Beach reporting.
No doubt your constant companion for outdoor exercise recently has been the humidity. The humidity drops as we go to the weekend. We snapped our string today of 90-degree days. We had 7 in a row. We're at 76 now. The wind's calming down a bit. We had it gust to 35 this afternoon. It's generally west-northwest around 10 tonight. Tomorrow, we're talking about it being cooler, still warm though, 88 for the high. The chance of thunderstorms comes in play late tomorrow. Then scattered thunderstorms continue with an 82-degree high for the second half of the weekend. Humidity a little lower because of the northwest wind through the day tomorrow, and it will still be 10 to 15 miles per hour with occasional gusts a little higher. Lots of sunshine first half of the day. Second half, we increase the cloud cover. Then as we get to the evening hours and tomorrow night, thunderstorms become more likely. 7 p.m., still dry most locations. Watch 9 o'clock and 11. Thunderstorms lined up to the west. Will the line hold together? Remember last night into this morning, it kind of fizzled. Not everybody saw rain with that. As we go through the overnight, we should at least see some of the shower thunderstorm activity. Can't rule out that a couple of the storms would have gusty winds, especially upon entering the state. We'll see if this gets modified during the day tomorrow, but we call it a low risk for damaging wind right now. Sunday forecast, temperatures around 70, only warm to 82. That's dependent upon holding on to some cloud cover and the scattered thunderstorms, keeping temperatures down. Highs across the north, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. These are actually a little below average for this time of the year. Really enjoy Sunday and Monday's temperatures because we'll shoot well back into the 90s early next week. 7 a.m. on Sunday, excuse me, there's some shower and thunderstorm activity. That continues into the afternoon. We'll definitely have some breaks in there. And as you look at temperatures, Sunday they're in the low 80s. Monday we put the pieces of the puzzle together. Low humidity, lots of sunshine, 83 degrees for the high. And as you look at the 7-day forecast, temperatures peak Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We've held back the heat arrival a little bit and I think lowered the overall expectations, but 95 would still be the warmest temperature that we've had since 2018. We've hit 94 on 2 occasions. Time for me to get a drink out of my Purdue cup. Boiler up.
Thank you, Kevin, for that. Well, the Rebound Indiana is showing you how groups are helping Hoosiers in need as the pandemic continues. The organization Faith, Hope, and Love Community opened a drive-through pantry back in May at a former Starbucks on 82nd Street in Castleton. The group says since then, the pantry has served more than 300 families. This evening, community leaders toured the facility and celebrated the pantry's success so far.
It's important that people and the community come together. We call this place a food pantry by the community, for the community. That means that the success of this depends not just on one organization, it depends on the community.
You're asked to call before going to the pantry. The number is 463-210-4612. For more info about the resources Faith, Hope, and Love Community offers or how to help, go to fhlcommunity.org.
Well, Amanda, that's just one way the community is stepping up to help Hoosiers get through this difficult time. Here are some of the other ways.
Crystal Catering, unable to host major luncheons, galas, or fundraisers in Indianapolis, was forced to send many people home.
Thank you.
But not without a care package filled with food and toilet paper to help during this crisis. This was also about checking in with a workforce that's like family. The chef says he's on the phone with his people to check in and to talk about cooking.
I can show you how to make bread. I can show you how to make soup from potatoes or frozen vegetables. You know, I can turn anything you have in your freezer to anything that you can eat.
RTV6's Amanda Starantino spoke with a psychiatrist at Ascension St. Vincent, Dr. Mitesh Patel. He wants people to know that anxiety is normal, but at a certain point, it's key to reach out for help.
We all experience anxiety. I think we can all think of situations where we've had anxiety and it's helped us perform better or perhaps helped us in our academic achievement. This situation is no different, except that I think people can certainly experience excessive levels of anxiety to where it could impair their functioning. And if it's getting hard for you to attend to your daily activities, then anxiety is probably at a point where it's excessive. We're all going through this process, and though it feels very bad, humanity is resilient, and we've always gotten through adversity, and I think we will do the same this time.
The RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
A popular central Indiana attraction reopens to the general public tomorrow. The Children's Museum of Indianapolis will welcome guests with safety precautions in hand. Social distancing and masks are required. Kids under 2 do not have to wear a mask. Advance tickets are required for all visitors, and every exhibit will be closed for cleaning for 30 minutes several times a day. If you're not feeling well, you are asked to stay home. Tickets will be exchanged in those cases.
Sending kids to daycare as the pandemic continues is a major concern for many parents. Some do not have any other options. Our partners at Newsy reached out to experts to help you weigh the risks.
When it comes to getting sick with COVID-19, you might be thinking about this, and we have too. Jessica asked,
what is the risk for sending my daughter to daycare?
We asked the experts. Their take, the risk of contracting COVID-19 from a daycare is medium.
Sending kids to daycare is something that we're starting to ramp up right now as the rest of all the states have opened up their communities. I would say it's somewhere between low to medium. I would also, though, say that it really depends on the kid that you're sending. If this is a child who is at risk of getting really, really bad colds, bad flu, have heart problems, have lung problems, I would say that's not something that I would do right now. Or the people who live in the house with this child, are they someone who are at risk of higher infections or higher disease severity if the child brings that virus home?
There is risk sending your kids to daycare, but what is very important is that your daycare has good practices in place to screen for symptoms and making sure that all the kids that are at daycare are well. Really consistent cleaning of the environment is important, and really good hand hygiene.
Probably limiting the number of children in the daycare to probably 10 or under. And I've seen some guidance where they're talking about number of square feet available per child, that you want to be able to have enough space there. There's a lot of people who do in-home daycares, and they're licensed with that, but so it depends on how much space you have as well. The kids need to be able to take naps. How much distancing can you maintain when they're taking naps as well? So it's those kind of things that are really important in order to ensure safety in a daycare.
If you have a question about your risk, email us a video question to what'stherisk@newsy.com.
Instead of peanuts and Cracker Jacks, ice cream took center stage at the ballpark today. Victory Field hosted the American Dairy Association's annual Ice Cream Social. The event is usually held on Monument Circle. It moved this year to better accommodate social distancing. Money raised will go to Second Helpings. Pretty cool, huh, Kevin?
Another scoop for tomorrow with lots of sunshine in the morning. Temperature around 80 by the time we get to lunchtime. Now, clouds increase in the afternoon, but the most likely time for thunderstorms later tomorrow night. Amanda?
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Good night.